As an Irish and Alliance player, what do you feel about the trust?
Well, I think it's very important that when you're out there playing, you know, some guys pick up a knee injury or an ankle injury and you can get over that and live your life. But when you get a much more serious injury and you might end up in a wheelchair, you really need the support of everyone around you. You know, initially, there'll always be a support maybe for the first 12, 24 months, but especially for younger players, it's 10 years on, 20 years on, and that's what the Irish Charitable Trust does. It gets together, and it's great to see former rugby players and current rugby players coming together in support of players, because you know, we've all got to, like in any team, we've all got to come together and support whoever needs it, and I think that's very much the players that pick up those serious injuries.
And how would you feel towards these players that have injuries, and what's your feeling towards them and the trust in the way that they help them?
Well, I think it's very important. Getting to games, I think, is a huge thing, and it's great to see that, you know, most of the injured players that we've met today are all going to the game tomorrow, and I believe the seats are much better at the Aviva than it was in the old Lansdowne Road, which is great. But also there's a lot more outside that, helping them out with various issues, whether it's just support issues, the medical side, or even just the social side, you know, because there is so much to get around, you know, getting from A to B and all the help you need, etc. That you really need it. The cost just goes up and up, but just to live a regular life. And I think that's what the Irish Charitable Trust tries to do, is to make sure that everyone has a regular life, just like someone who's, you know, maybe fully able-bodied.
As a player, Paul, what would you think would be going forward for the Charitable Trust to maybe change or add in or make it more known, because it's very hush-hush at the moment, but to give a little bit more publicity on it?
Well, there's a lot of very deserved charities out there at the moment, and you're right, you really got to push the wagon out, don't you, to try and get that attention at the moment. But there's a number of new concepts. Obviously, there's the dinner, or the lunch, which turned into a dinner this evening. Tomorrow, pre-match, there's another one. I believe there's a cycle going to go ahead around the lines as well, and maybe some more innovative thinking of former players. It's very difficult for current players to get too much involved with charity raising, but when they are available, to come out and support, but also just to get the word out there and get all rugby players, not just people who've played professionally or internationally, but every club player, because it's normally, you know, it's not at international rugby you get all these injuries. Most of it is all down the line and at the grassroots level, and it's very important that the grassroots clubs all get in behind, because even though their club might never have had a very serious injury, you know, the averages are it may happen someday, and they've got to support other players and other clubs too.